What the world's only 8-star prison would look like. Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. Is it true that going to prison is better than being outside? There is an endless curiosity about prison life, where reality and strange stories often intermingle. This has become a topic that cannot be ignored in Western culture, reproduced through many film and media works. In these poignant images of people living in prison, we see moments of surprise and acceptance, orange shirts regardless of skin color. However, behind the iron and steel fences, there is another world, where life takes place on a different schedule, completely separate from the outside. But there is one place in the world where prisoners are allowed to live. I think life is happier outside, which is where we will explore right away. Before going into the content, remember to like and subscribe to the channel to support me. Reveal to you a country located in Eastern Europe, where since July 2011, photo editing on social networks has become a serious problem. According to the new law, celebrities must be careful when sharing images, because editing without specifying the source can lead to misunderstandings and serious consequences for the community. This country is also famous for a special incident. A prisoner, convicted of a massacre, sued the prison for not being able to upgrade his game console from PS2 to PS3. This caused great controversy and showed concern for personal rights in the harsh living conditions of prisoners. Such details are not only a highlight of this country's law and society, but also a warning about the seriousness in ensuring justice and human rights. This makes life in this country special and causes great curiosity for those interested in Eastern European culture and politics. Yes, that is Norway. Norway is not only famous for the baby-faced assassin Håkon del Sol and the national football team's super striker Erling Haaland and other outstanding players from the Dutch Union, but is also the place where home to one of the world's most unique prisons, a place whose name simply means small screen. The security situation in Norway is one of the highlights of this country. With a very low crime rate, Norway is one of the most developed and wealthy countries in the world. A comfortable life and an extensive social security system, including pension benefits and support for prisoners during and after their sentences, especially attract attention. Each prisoner is given a weekly allowance of approximately $7.60, which they can use to save or shop at prison stores. This shows special concern for the rights and living conditions of convicted people. These unique features make life and law in Norway fascinating and worth exploring, highlighting the growth and evolution of the country's culture and society. And here is the main part. The most unique and classy prison in the world, Halden prison in Norway, is considered an 8-star hotel for prisoners. This is not only a place of detention but also a symbol of modernity and humanity in the European legal system. I don't even want to get out of prison. It's a comedy prison known as the only luxury prison in the world. At the same time, this is also the most modern and most humane prison in all of Europe. Even if it is known as the world's pre-trial prison, once prisoners are brought here, they do not want to go out because their lives are filled with everything from material things to purity for a long time. Halden prison was built on a hectare-wide plot of land in a small town in southern Norway. Its completeness and breakthrough in design have attracted the attention of leading architects from Denmark. Instead of a restrictive and harsh image, Halden was designed with a completely different mindset: no walls, no feeling of confinement. Even at first sight, one might think that it is a hospital or a school instead of a prison. More specifically, this prison does not have strict security measures such as surveillance cameras or barbed wire fences. Instead, natural plants and trees are planted around the prison walls, creating a living space close and in harmony with nature. This green area is up to 4,500 square meters, creating the feeling of a surrounding garden. To the south, some Danish architects hired here used their talents to build this prison. Without a wall, no one would think it was a house. It couldn't be a hospital, a school or any other public building built from wood or with stone windows. There would be no river. There is no surveillance tower, no license for spikes and electrical leaks heard from both sides, and no surveillance cameras in the rooms that need to be set up in offices. Each prisoner at Halden is given a weekly allowance, which helps them save or shop in prison stores. This is part of efforts to reduce feelings of isolation and restriction, enabling prisoners to maintain a quality of life and reintegrate back into the community after serving their sentence. The most different and surprising thing is probably the relationship between prison guards and prisoners here. With the proportion of prison officers in charge of just 5 to 6 prisoners, compared to the higher average in the US, this represents a significant difference in the approach and management of offenders. This is not only an approach to maintaining order, but also a strategy to create an environment that can support the reintegration of prisoners into society. Halden Prison is a testament to the fact that, under different leadership and vision, prison life can be transformed and improved. It is not just a place of detention but also a bright spot in the effort to build a more just and humane society. In the world of Halden Prison in Norway, the concept of confinement has been completely redefined. This is not an ordinary detention facility but a space designed to maximize the integration and reintegration of prisoners into society. Here, people who commit crimes are not only considered prisoners but also citizens, with the same rights and diet. Every meal is an opportunity for prison guards and prisoners to communicate, often through shared meals such as breakfast. Prisoners are served dishes such as eggs, salad, orange juice and coffee, all of which are prepared in advance and only need to be heated. Prepared meals then just need to be reheated in the available kitchen. Every 10 to 12 cells have a common living area. It's like a living area of a house. Normally, if you don't know these things, you can buy other products in My Homemade Food, which is similar to a supermarket. Normally, there are a variety of products for you to choose from. The cells at Halden are designed to maximize comfort and ease, with basic equipment such as TVs, refrigerators and other electronics, even game consoles. Sunlight is maximized, helping to create a friendly and cozy living space. In addition, each SAM room here is prepared to give prisoners the most comfortable and pleasant feeling in Jan River with the most basic equipment including refrigerator, TV and some other electronics. Even people need to arrange the house panels for the game console. It's convenient for you to have direct sunlight shining into each cell. This is truly a comfortable prison like no other. The hotel doesn't lack any kind of household appliances. More than just a place of detention, Halden also has a library and cooking and music classes, helping prisoners learn and develop new skills. Recording studios also allow prisoners with musical talent to express their talents. There are 3 recording studios. For prisoners with singing talent, an entire community must participate. Become good citizens, so in the prison there are also staff such as doctors, priests, teachers of all kinds of arts or working in the community of this community who are also familiar with criminals and criminals. Crime also requires community rights. Life is no different from women outside, the only thing is not being allowed to go out. Stop. In particular, the relationship between prison guards and prisoners here is a noteworthy point. With a small ratio of wardens in charge, each having to care for 5 to 6 inmates, this creates a more close-knit and supportive environment. The prison guards do not carry weapons and are trained to communicate and support prisoners instead of imposing pressure. Most of the prison guards here are female and especially as mentioned above, they are not subject to any of the rules. Any other type of weapon? Which government thinks that if the prisoners here all use guns to the teeth, it will unintentionally create for the prisoners a rare feeling of being coerced? Even this opinion creates a gap between human each. All of this forms a community within the prison, where humanity and personal growth are valued. Halden is not just a detention facility but a model for change and improvement in the legal and social systems. In the daily life of Halden Prison in Norway, every aspect is managed and evaluated as strictly as normal services outside. All prisoners are given a survey when admitted to the hospital to assess their level of satisfaction and quality of life here. They have the opportunity to give opinions and suggestions to improve living conditions, an aspect rarely seen in prisons around the world. In addition, prisoners can absolutely have sections to add their suggestions to help improve life at home better, but it must be added that no matter what, the 2 applications are still it's just a prison with prisoners who are angry at climate change and need to be quarantined. Even the quarantine area is very different from other prisons in the quarantine area with themed Tuing paintings and clickbait. They went out to the large garden and buildings to relieve their frustrations. Almost all the prisoners here sat and plowed. Prison was considered the best place that society could provide for criminals at that time. At this point in the world, it will be hundreds of years before humanity will see an even darker environment. According to the 2005 survey, only 20% of prisoners will have been imprisoned in camps. Prisoners in the UK have to return to prison after 2 years. This rate is one of the lowest in Europe, where this is a symbol of the views of the Nordic countries. Halden is not just a place of detention but a community, where prisoners are encouraged to participate in activities such as cooking, music and studying. The cells are designed with comfort and freedom in mind, with electronics and necessary amenities such as TVs, refrigerators and even recording studios for those with creative talent. The prisoners were fed and clothed so well and had such a happy and prosperous life in the convent when this government had to pay a total of £98,000 a year in prison. In particular, the environment in Halden is a clear reflection of Nordic views on punishment and social reintegration. Instead of using harsh penal measures, the policy here focuses on humane treatment and building an environment that promotes the personal development and reintegration of prisoners. However, although Halden is a symbol of progress in the legal and detention systems, not all countries have the conditions and mentality to provide a similar environment for prisoners. This made Halden a landmark in the world of incarceration, an exemplary example of humane treatment of offenders. The efforts and improvements at Halden not only bring comfort but also highlight concern for the development and return to society of those who have suffered from crime. This is a journey worth exploring and reflecting on the nature of punishment and human rehabilitation in relation to society. The most interesting prison in the world, the happiest in the world, is the place where the owner feels the most comfortable in the world. If you find interesting translations, don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel to support the channel. Hello and see you soon. Next videos.